Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashy Business Show. My name is Abdul Majid Awan and today is Monday, July 21, 2025.
And I'm Ward Ahmed and we've got a packed show for you today. Firstly, UAE's Al-Futtaim is buying almost half of Saudi Arabia's Cenomi retail in a deal worth $600 million. And Meta just bought Voice AI startup co-founded by an Egyptian engineer, Mahmoud, Felfel. And thirdly, Elon Musk's AI company is working on something new, a kid-friendly chatbot called Baby Grok. And finally, from 2026, the UAE will change how it taxes sugary drinks based on how much sugar they actually have.
That's a sweet story. But yes, first of all, yesterday it was announced through a press release and statements come out, UAE-based conglomerate Al-Futtaim. So you have to just be careful with it. We also made a mistake and we apologize for it, but everyone made a mistake. They recently did a deal and everyone wrote Majid Al-Futtaim. But
the story is still up on AGBI.
Yeah.
Change was not made.
Al-Futtaim Group is different from Majid Al-Futtaim. So this is Al-Futtaim Group. They are acquiring 49.95% stake in Saudi Arabia's Cenomi retail in a deal worth over 2.5 billion Saudi riyals or nearly $667 million. The announcement was confirmed by Cenomi Retail in a filing released on Sunday on the Tadawul Saudi exchange market, marking one of the region's most significant cross-border retail investment in recent years.
So the shares are being purchased at 45 riyals each under a share purchase agreement signed with Cenomi Retail's founding shareholders. So these shareholders include Fawaz Abdulaziz Al-Huqair, Abdul Majid Abdulaziz Al-Huqair, Salman Abdulaziz Al-Huqair, and Saudi Fast Holding Company and Fast Real Estate Company.
And Cenomi Retail is the leading franchise retailer in Saudi Arabia, operating over 800 stores across 8 countries. Its diverse brand portfolio includes fashion, beauty, sports, multimedia, and food and beverage segments.
And as part of the closing conditions of the deal, both parties are negotiating a shareholder loan of at least 1.3 billion riyals to support Cenomi's balance sheet.
Al-Futtaim, one of the UAE's most diversified family-run businesses, holds long-standing partnerships with global giants like Toyota, Honda, and IKEA. The group also develops major commercial destinations, including Dubai Festival City, blending retail, hospitality, and residential offerings.
And what's so significant about all of this is just most recently, Al-Futtaim expanded into Kuwait with the launch of Kuwait Festival City, further cementing its regional footprint in retail and the retail industry. You know, this latest move into Saudi Arabia really does signal the fast-growing consumer market and does deepen its presence across the Gulf. Now, if we go into Cenomi Retail itself, Majid, I just opened their website. You would not believe the brands that they have the franchise for in Saudi Arabia. I'm just going to name a few for you guys. They have Massimo Dutti. They have Cinnabon, Zara, Pull & Bear, Subway, Bershka, Oysho, Zara Home, Stradivarius, Flying Tiger, the Dutch company, Mango, Lefties, Kiko, Decathlon. I mean, this is a really big retail portfolio. And the fact that you have Al-Futtaim coming in and taking this over, buying 49% of their stake, that is really significant. I feel, especially with the fact that just recently we heard how Majid Al-Futtaim, they had that entire succession reshuffle where they basically appointed 9 board members to oversee the company. This was done by Dubai government, and it was done because there was a family feud that was allegedly ongoing, according to the Financial Times. So honestly, it brings me to this question of, is Al-Futtaim flying because of the fact that they have less succession issues than Majid Al-Futtaim? And this question being posed here, it's important because basically back in the day, I believe it was between the 1990s to the 2000s, what essentially happened is Majid Al-Futtaim and Abdullah Al-Futtaim are both cousins. And back at that time too, they also had succession issues. So what ended up happening is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, back then, the Crown Prince of Dubai, essentially stepped in they divided both of the businesses. Majid got Majid Al-Futtaim, which is,
Nice.
all of these malls that we're seeing, Vox Cinema, and Abdullah Al-Futtaim, Al-Futtaim belongs to him. And Al-Futtaim is more of, they have Toyota, they have Lexus, they have IKEA, Honda. They also have a bunch of brands. So the fact that they're now taking over Cenomi, honestly, it brings me to this point that I think they managed their feuds much better than Majid Al-Futtaim probably did. No, seriously, because they're going off. They're in Kuwait, now they're in Saudi Arabia. Like, this is a complete takeover. Like, I'm excited to see where they go next.
And the funny thing is, you always learn about Majid Al-Futtaim, right? It's happening, this is happening, that is happening. In the last 1.5, 2 weeks, they've come to the surface, Al-Futtaim, and they're doing great. I think it's just that they realized that we need to do more PR either. They were doing everything, but they never were doing PR. But now they've realized that we need to do more marketing, more PR. We need to go out there and tell people that there is something called Al-Futtaim. People know, in the UAE, I have realized people know Al-Futtaim from Majid Al-Futtaim because they've seen both of them differently for a longer period. But outside, people get confused. So I think this is a good time to make their presence felt. And then investing in Saudi Arabia, buying nearly half of the company Cenomi Retail, it's a good sign. I think it's a good move. And yeah, best of luck to Al-Futtaim. Next story, it's a very nice, feel-good story, more than a big AI acquisition story. In a major move in the AI space, artificial intelligence, Meta, which is like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, everything, Mark Zuckerberg, they've acquired Play AI. So it's a California-based voice artificial intelligence startup led by Egyptian founder and engineer Mahmoud Felfel. So the acquisition, confirmed this week, further strengthens Meta's ambitions in the generative AI race. The financial terms of the deal have not been disclosed. We don't know how much Meta paid, but they are paying even one engineer in hundreds of millions. So most probably they paid a lot of money. But the entire Play AI team is set to join Meta next week, reporting directly to its AI leadership.
So Mahmoud Felfel co-founded Play AI in 2020 alongside Hamad Syed. Now, both had previously worked at Dubai's classifieds platform Dubizzle before relocating to the US. Now, their startup quickly gained attention for its conversational AI technology, most notably Play Dialogue, a voice model which is basically phrased for its emotional nuance and contextual understanding.
And independent testing found that 7 out of 10 users preferred Play Dialogue over leading alternatives.
And Play AI has also developed Play 3.0 Mini, a fast, multilingual, real-time text-to-speech model and a no-code platform for creating voice agents. Now, their newest product, PlayNote, has been described as Notebook LM, but with any voice, and has already attracted nearly 40,000 users globally.
And just months before the acquisition, Play AI raised $21 million in seed funding led by Kindred Ventures and 500 Global with support from Y Combinator, Raise Capital, and others, big names.
So Meta has described Play AI's technology as a strong fit for its AI roadmap, especially in enhancing AI characters, Meta AI, wearables, and voice content creation. Now, this deal reflects Meta's push to stay competitive against OpenAI, and I think in this case specifically Google, because we've been hearing a lot about Google VO and how good it is at replicating voices, different dialects, even Arabic. So I think in this specific case, it was important that they stay ahead.
Yeah, and this acquisition is part of Meta's wider strategy that includes aggressive recruitment, partnerships, and internal R&D. With Play AI now under its wing, Meta is expected to accelerate the rollout of advanced voice-driven AI experiences across its platforms. And with an Egyptian engineer at the helm of one of Silicon Valley's most talked about AI startups, the story also highlights growing global representation.
Honestly, in this case, Majid, like, you gotta respect Mark Zuckerberg because he probably saw Google VO. He was like, okay, they're catching up with this artificial intelligence voice thing. Instead of me recruiting a completely new team, training them, coming up with a new product, let me just buy the product that already exists out there and Play AI. And that's exactly what they did. And, lucky for us, we have Egyptian winners from our region that have probably gained so much from this deal.
Yeah.
But, I wonder how the transition is is essentially going to go? Like when companies are acquired, do they still maintain the same morals? Do they still maintain the same code of conduct, the same standards? So I think that is a question that I probably have for all of this.
See, obviously, when you move something like in this case, PlayAI will join Meta. All the team members will join there. Then most probably start sitting in their offices and everything. There's on the base level, it's HR policies. Talking about HR, the CEO of what was the company name? Astronomer has resigned finally. Everyone was showing that he was blaming Coldplay, but all of those were wrong reports. He's resigned. But at the base level, you'll see medical benefits maybe change. Dental plans change, glasses, but at the technical level, I think PlayAI engineers will love to work with Meta engineers because Meta engineers work on a grander scale than PlayAI. They had one product, Meta has multiple products. So working with them, obviously it's a learning moment for both of them. The only problem is the ego clashes that I'm scared of, because usually when it happens, when these companies, they're absorbed, the people who are working for Meta, they're very reluctant to accept new people inside, because obviously if someone is better than you, you're scared that you'll lose your job and that guy will take over your position.
Think so?
Or if they're not good enough, then you have this, oh, these are not good enough. Why did we buy them?
Majid, I think that's one of the worst nonsensical fears that employees should ever have. Because even if you get replaced, God will find you a new job. But in this point, honestly, you know what I just thought of? Just you like mentioning the CEO of Astronomer. I don't know if you guys are following Noon's Instagram, but they came out with this ad. Oh, I need to take a look at it right now. And it's basically shading the CEO of Astronomer, and if you basically open Noon, it goes like, you know, some things stay private. Our delivery speed isn't one of them. Get everything in 15 minutes, and they have a circle of the CEO of Astronomer with the HR chief, and it says it was all yellow. Now we all know Noon is all yellow, and it kind of just reminded me of the fact that in 2023. If you know, you know, Noon basically bought Namshi for over $300 million, I believe. And if you take a look at Noon and Namshi, they are completely different. Like, I imagine that the employees under both of them are living completely different lives. Because it's like Noon did this ad, right? They did the CEO of Astronomer ad. Namshi didn't. They didn't do the ad. Maybe it doesn't fit with their audience. You know, Noon, it's more quick. It's, you know, more e-commerce. Namshi, it's like dedicated to fashion. So I think in this case, when they purchased Namshi, they probably let things run the same way they've been run. Oh, and just one more point, Firaz, who's the CEO of Noon right now, Noon Minutes, he is also the founder of Namshi. So it's interesting how you'll sometimes have founders who are running two companies, but the founders themselves understand that these two companies need to be run differently to operate successfully.
Importantly, Noon did it. I think
Yango Play also did it.
Yango Play also did it. And I think it's very important that you as a brand should jump on these trends. The problem comes when you don't have, you make an ad and it's tone deaf. But good play on whatever trend is happening is always welcome by the audience. I'm looking at the comments and people are loving it. People are actually putting their startups and their companies in the comment sections or section of the Noon Minute post.
Can you give us examples?
So Accordia Con, it's a brand. They're saying some secrets get exposed in 15 minutes. We prefer revealing broken workflows, hidden blockers, and Project Chaos. So basically, they're a project management software. So these are the things that happen. You have to jump on trends. The only thing that you need is expertise in writing a good copy. You can't. And I think ChatGPT and all these things, they're really good at writing a copy, but you need a human touch.
You need to know the trend. Chat is not
also,
going to know
you
the
need to
trend.
understand, there's something called sentiment analysis. You should know your audience, that how do they react to different posts. If they were doing this post, some things should stay private. Our delivery speed isn't one of them, blah, blah, blah. They need a human to sense check it. AI still can't. I don't think you tell
No,
ChatGPT
but
everything
imagine,
about your
you know
audience.
what it is with the CEO of a Charmer trend? Honestly, I'm calling it a trend. Is that it's one of those trends where even your parents know about it.
Yeah,
I
everyone
remember
knows about it.
bringing it up to my family, and every single one of them knew. And not every single trend
Yeah.
is like that with my family. So I think this is one of those things that completely blew up. It's still trending. And you brought up this point, Majid, of how now like companies should do this thing of like hopping on these like
Yeah.
feel good trends, right? This is what I mean. Marketing has completely changed.
Yeah.
We're not back in the days of where you have someone like Casey Neistat who's making like a big ad for Nike and running around the world and filming it, and he's coming up with the idea. I feel like marketing has almost become this thing where you hop on the trend. That's all that marketing has become now, because I look through my TikTok, I look through my Instagram, the brands that are winning in marketing are the brands that are noticing what's making us all laugh,
Yeah.
what's making us all sad, and they're taking it and they're just replicating it on their accounts. And it's honestly easy. You don't even have to come up with anything cool like just do it. You just come up with, but then at the same time, what's sad is just do it. It's something that stays the same for years to come.
Yeah.
But now, for you to stay on top of your marketing, you need to stay on top of every
Yeah.
single trend. You can't just go by one slogan. And I think that's what specifically changed with marketing here.
Yeah, but I remember I was watching a video, Nike's new ad. You were talking about just do it. Imagine everyone, when you talk about Adidas, Nike, any brand in the world, you always remember their first tagline, right? Whichever they came up with first. For Nike, it was just do it. I recently saw even Nike had to go and change their new slogan. There's like, winning isn't for everyone. So I don't know what campaign they were doing. I don't remember the video exactly. But I was like, okay, they're doing something. Didn't go into a deep dive. But they also have realized, the older legacy brands have realized that we need to change something. Obviously, we did just do it for so many years. Noon has a campaign. Everyone has some sort of an idea that you're Noon with you.
Newly founded companies, they're identified through their colors, and they're not identified through just one line anymore.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? Like, I can't even think of a single thing of Noon Minutes a tagline. I really can't. I just know it comes to my house in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's about it, and it's
And
yellow.
there's a yellow thing.
Exactly.
There's a yellow
That
shopper,
is
yellow
literally
this, yellow.
It's so interesting. I honestly just like caught up with this.
Yeah,
And
but next story is also about a startup. It's by a billionaire, but still he calls it a startup, so we also call it a startup. It's xAI. So what happened was Elon Musk on Sunday, I think, on Sunday late night, US timings, very problematic to remember, but Elon Musk announced that his startup xAI will launch Baby Grok for kid-friendly content. I never thought I'll see this happening, but he's finally said, he didn't give out any details, he just tweeted this, I'll read it. We're going to make Baby Grok. xAI, he tagged xAI and then said, an app dedicated to kid-friendly content. I don't know what he's talking about. No one knows what he's talking about. Everyone is guessing maybe it's a video platform, or maybe it's like YouTube Kids, or maybe it's the same xAI integrated into X, Grok, and you just give your son or daughter or your kids access to X and say, this is yours. This is Baby Grok.
I think in this case, Majid, what they're trying to do is, I guess they're trying to expand into like a more controlled, safer form of artificial intelligence for, kids. And this comes just as xAI recently released Grok 4 and then faced all of those anti-Semitic content. That was basically generated by its earlier versions. It got a lot of backlash on that. And if you know X, we know that the second largest shareholder of it is Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the founder of Kingdom Holding in Saudi Arabia. They also have Qatar Investment Authority, which has stake. Hussein Sajwani, that he admitted in an interview with the CNN in Arabic that he also has a stake. So I think in this specific case, the company is evolving, but Majid, like, would you let your kid use Baby Grok? Is this something you think he needs?
You can't stop them.
Yeah.
So I would be very in favor of this idea that we need AI tools. Obviously, ChatGPT is there already, Perplexity, Claude. There's like hundreds of options right now. I always thought of this, that if a kid like 13, 14-year-old is using this, how do you safeguard it? Because there is no safeguard controls in ChatGPT.
Exactly.
You can't put any
ChatGPT
railguards.
wants to do what you want.
Yeah. So I always thought, like, what is happening to the kids? The assignments apart, essays apart,
Yeah.
all that educational things apart, they were going to all these platforms for a lot of emotional advice, for a lot of other things as well. I think this is a great idea. If you
Yeah.
can start it quickly before OpenAI comes up with parental controls, he can go into a market which is very new and no one is thinking about it. Even if they're thinking about it, they haven't said it explicitly. So yeah, Elon Musk is going for a new idea, and I am in favor of Baby Grok, right?
I just went on ChatGPT and I'm like, okay, let me test if Chat will actually do anything I want. And I was like, hey Chat, I want to kill myself. Sorry about that, guys. And because I wanted to see would it say do it.
The
and it was
extreme.
like, hi, I'm really sorry. I can't help you with that. You should probably go talk to a family member or a cousin or a mental support group. And Majid, I just noticed that I sent this message on our company's ChatGPT and I immediately deleted it. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think somebody is cause for concern here. They're gonna think someone's cause for concern
I don't
here.
use the company's ChatGPT, funnily.
Same.
I
ChatGPT has become a private space for me.
Yeah, I only very rarely use it. The company is
Yeah.
one when I have to do some deep dive or something. Usually I use the normal ChatGPT, my own. But I think this is new. Usually before this,
Yeah.
I tried. I didn't go to that extreme, but I only wrote, I want to write an angry letter to my wife. I want to tell her that I don't like her and she's not respectful, blah, 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 blah. I was just testing it and my wife was standing right next to me. I was like, let's see
Okay.
what ChatGPT gives you. And the ChatGPT was like, no, you shouldn't. It started acting like a psychologist to me, like, no, don't do this, don't do that, try this, try that. So I was like, okay, good. But again, you go to extremes. This is just a very normal extreme. There's like extreme now. People are building bombs. I remember when ChatGPT came out, a lot of people criticized it for this same reason, that it will literally give you any information that you want because there were no guardrails. But then
Yeah.
eventually as it evolved and now we have 4.0 and all these versions, they obviously put a lot of safeguards and guardrails. But now it's better. But at that time, a lot of people could literally ask it whatever they want
Yeah.
and it was giving them answers. So I think AI is still evolving. It's a very big space that we still don't know anything about. Internet, I always think internet is the best example because that is what happened when internet, as soon as it came, broke the industry, broke post letters, post offices. It literally broke everything. So even today, till today, we still have problems with internet, right? What you can put on internet, what you can't put on internet. We've discussed so much about privacy and everything that should, even if we say yes to a social media platform, should they be allowed to share our data with someone, to marketers, to agencies, to anyone? That's still, imagine, even after like how many years has it been? It's been more than 35, 40 years since we had internet. Even still, we're discussing what to do with it. AI is just like 3-4 years old, right? I know it's been there for a
Yeah.
long time, but ChatGPT was like the initiation process where we were like, okay, finally
This is
AI
something
is
we feel all comfortable using.
So we still need to wait 4-5 years. And I think with this Baby Grok idea, it's a cute name, one thing. Second thing, it's a very good idea that there should be a limit that if you're 18 and below, your parents will set up an account for you and this is how it will happen. And these are the guardrails. You can't ask about this, that. So it's a very nice idea.
But it might
I'm
be
100%
limiting.
in support
You-
of it.
You don't know. It honestly might be limiting. Like, what if someone's writing an essay and they want to consider negative implications?
Yeah.
The negative implications might not actually be presented
Yeah.
to them. And finally, for our last topic of the day, the UAE is overhauling its sugar tax policy, and it's not just about numbers anymore. So starting in 2026, sugar-sweetened beverages will be taxed on how much sugar they actually contain. So that's the shift from the current flat rate tax, moving instead to a tiered volumetric system.
And under the new model, the tax rate per liter will vary according to the drink's sugar content per 100 milliliters. Simply put, the more sugar in your soda, the higher the tax. This model aims to push manufacturers to lower sugar levels and ultimately promote healthier consumer choices.
So the announcement was made by the UAE Ministry of Finance and the Federal Tax Authority. So officials say this advance notice gives suppliers, importers, and retailers enough time to adapt, reformulate their products, and update systems before the policy takes effect in 2026.
And the move comes amid growing global efforts to curb sugar intake and fight rising obesity and diabetes rates. The UAE joins countries like the UK and Mexico, where similar sugar-based tax models have already been introduced to encourage industry reform.
So to ease the transition, awareness campaigns will be rolled out ahead of implementation. And for businesses worried about compliance, authorities say there will be ample time to prepare, but the message is clear. Sweet drinks will soon come with a higher price tag if they don't go lighter on the sugar. And I think in this specific case, Majid,
Not a sweet story for brands.
No, definitely. I think in this specific case, it's good news that they made the date 2026, meaning that you don't have to recall your products from stores.
Yeah.
You can leave them there. So we definitely know here that the ministry was very mindful of the fact that we don't want to waste anything. And for me, I am so for this. I really am, because there was so much hidden sugar everywhere. We're not even aware. Majid, I saw this study like just very recently it was a journal that was released, and it's pretty famous, that was done on these two rats, right? So basically one rat was fed a very healthy diet with less sugar, or no sugar at all actually. And then another rat was basically fed the typical American diet. And if you know American diets, you know that they have larger colas, larger burgers, larger fries. And basically what they did for the rat that ate no sugar, they gave it a healthy diet. When they threw it into this pool of water, the rat was very easily able to go around and hop out of the pool. Very easily, did it very quickly. For the rat that was basically fed, I am also against animal testing, but anyways, for the rat that was basically fed the American diet, it did not even know how to swim. No, seriously, it was swimming around, hitting sides of the pool that it was in, and it could not get out. It could not get out of the pool. And they basically then linked the study to Alzheimer's, that the more sugar, the more that you have, basically the more you're more likely to actually get Alzheimer's. And it was just so interesting to me. Like, sugar does impact your productivity levels, especially. I know this is for some people not what you want to hear, because when you want energy, you'll take a soda, you'll take some candy, which I usually do sometimes too when I'm low on energy. But you might get a sugar high, but it's going to drop in no time. In absolutely no time, and it doesn't actually help with your memory or your speed of doing things. Right. So I think for me, that's why with this story, I am happy about it. I think not everyone has the willpower to control their sugar intake, and sometimes the government has to do it for you.
Yeah, that's a good point, because sugar is quite addictive, I've realized, because I was eating white sugar in tea and everything. I switched to brown. Has a muddy texture and everything. So that's my first step to going no sugar.
Yeah.
For white sugar, I was putting 2 teaspoons. Brown sugar, I maybe have to add 3 because it doesn't taste as sweet and sugary. But yeah, I'm also moving away. So thank you, UAE government, for introducing this rule, new rule, and it's a good thing. I still think a lot of people, the consumers who are like addicted to it, they will feel the burden of the price. But I think it's good. You should leave it. It's not a good thing. Sometimes it works. Like if you, even if you're working out, and if you have a very sedentary lifestyle, avoid them. But if you have an active lifestyle, sometimes it works, but not always.
Yeah, and that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashy Business, and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description. This
has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our 2 million monthly listeners. Finally, we've reached 2 million. Thank you so much for everyone who's been here and who's supported us, and we are going to grow on Augustus Media and on Smashy Business and on all of our Lovin' brands. So just be there, stick with us. We'll try to entertain you, inform you, do everything for you that is possible. So
see you tomorrow.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.